What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today we're going to talk to you about PayPal. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down on what's been causing a lot of volatility in PayPal over this last several trading days and where I see it going from here. Before I get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So on Friday, it did go up 1.35%, 18.8 million shares being traded, 11.1 is the average. So over this last several trading days, ever since it hit a low of around 58.80, give or take, you saw an enormous amount of buying. So these are some of the transactions that did occur on the secondary market above $100,000. So you see quite a few big ones. So 8.2 million, 15.2, many transactions, as you can kind of see. And no doubtably this is going to continue into this upcoming week, because this upcoming week is the last week in Q2. So a lot of ETFs are going to be rebalancing their portfolios, and PayPal regrettably has been lagging in comparison to the S&P. So no doubtably you're going to see a lot of ETFs rebalancing and buying PayPal. So that could really stand to help this week. And so when it comes down to PayPal, there hasn't been all that much news. There was this news that came out on June the 20th about them naming a new CTO, but in all honesty, that's good stuff, but it's not a reason for it to really have this kind of reaction. So when it comes down to this was more linked to technicals. Even myself, I saw this as just being too overdone. So I did buy quite heavily, in fact, maybe a little bit too much, but as you can kind of see, I did buy just over 800 shares at $59.15. So I'm pretty happy with my buy. It is going to be a swing trade, just for full transparency. I'm going to talk about where my exit position is most likely going to be and all the other fun jazz. But like I said, this bounce right here was largely due to the technicals. And for this upcoming week, you don't have all that much data points. So I'll quickly go over this. So for this upcoming week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, it is just going to be more technical driven and just a lot of Fed speakers. And then on Thursday, you do have GDP, and then on Friday, PCE. So I think the beginning part of the week is going to be another opportunity for PayPal to continue this nice positive momentum. So I'm going to go over some of the data points and everything that you need to know. But starting off with shorts, I like to bring this up, more of a benchmark and analysis rather than anything. Definitely PayPal is not a short squeeze play, with especially 2.05% of the free float being shorted. That is very small. Even on Friday though, shorts did return 27,000 shares. And over this last several trading days, ever since it kind of hit this range, shorts started to return. So in my opinion, that's kind of validating this right here. And so right now, 21.41 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average is 6.21%. So pretty good stuff in my opinion. Moving on to options, $10 million in calls, $10 million on Friday were being done, and then 5.71 million in puts. So a lot of money was getting into PayPal through options. 50% of all the options, in fact, were bullish and optimistic. And of the call options that were purchased, you do see a consensus for it to be roughly around the $62 to $63 range by this upcoming Friday. So pretty epic stuff if you think about it. So a lot of people are anticipating a continuation of this nice momentum, as am I, which is why I did decide to buy. So I'm going to go over some things. Like I said, there hasn't been all that much news. It was just more of a technical kind of reversal because there wasn't any new analyst rating. Last one was done 9 days ago. $78 price target, a buy, KBW, and Sanjay, who has a 68% success rating. As a consensus among all the ratings, 74.55 is anticipated, and that does represent a 23% upside. And like I said, I'm getting in largely because of a swing trade, because I think the broader technicals are still somewhat negative. So this is the Elliott wave technicals. It does have a pivot point of $62.30. So for as long as PayPal is below that, then this is where it is anticipated to kind of get to the low 50s, which in my opinion is kind of extreme. But needless to say, if it is able to get above this pivot point, then it is anticipated to get between that $65 and $67 range once again. But no doubtably, there is going to be a push to this range. So ultimately, that is my exit point. Obviously, it could potentially propel higher than that to 67, but you know what, I think broader picture, there's a lot of different circumstances that is at play. And right now the market only wants to hear about interest rate cuts. If that does not come to fruition, like sooner rather than later, I think people are going to be getting quite irritated and impatient. That's just my own opinion, of course. You guys do, once again, whatever floats your boat. But right now with it at $60.61, it is currently trading between this S1 and the pivot. So $60.07 is going to be that next strong support, and then $62.81 is going to be that next strong resistance slash target. So kind of within that range, exactly where the LA Wave Technicals does have their pivot point. So in my opinion, like I said, the $62 range is going to be my exit. It could be coming in the early part of next week. Next week also, like I said, GDP and PCE could really rock the market in a very positive way or in a very negative way. So give yourself a shout out if you have been buying PayPal over this last little bit, or if you've been selling. Especially, did you catch the 58s or the high 58s, or did you buy similar to kind of where I was in the low 59s? On the actual chart itself, it is lower percentile of the Bollinger Band. You do see a nice bullish deviation starting to form on stochastic, and plus aside from that, it is considered very oversold at around 7, give or take. A number of retail investors have been getting in, but generally, bigger picture, they've been getting out ever since June the 6th. So I think all in all, it's going to be a very interesting stock. I think long term, PayPal is definitely one of those ones that you need to add to your watch list if you don't already, because I really like Chris in the actual CEO role. Like, he's a good CEO and he kind of takes on multiple different roles. I can see how some people might see that as somewhat negative though, but once again, do your own due diligence at the end of the day. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with all that said, appreciate all of you watching.